Alright, nudity, the discussion. You've all been waiting for this. Here's the deal. We've got a nudist in the house. I have noticed amongst children, my entire life of observing them, being one, you seem to either come out a nude or a dress-up. If you're a dress-up, it might be costumes, or you might just be one of those kids who needs to change their clothes like 5 times a day. You usually have definite opinions about what you want to wear, you know, all that kind of thing. Or you just don't want to wear clothes. Kid just doesn't want to wear clothes. I mean, I had one friend to complain one time about, like, you know, like as if I would know what she's talking about, like how hard it was to get her daughter to, like, wear, you know, a particular thing. And I'm like, that is not our problem. Our problem is just getting her to wear anything. But I was thinking back with Mr. F the other day. Didn't used to always be so... She didn't used to need to be nude as much as she does now. I mean, as a younger kid, she was more amenable to, you know, you get her dressed, she'd take her... I guess because she couldn't take her clothes off. Then I will say she became more and more interested in being nude. And a lot of it, I know, is because of skin sensitivities. She is one of those people who just hates binding waistbands, she doesn't like tags, she doesn't like seams, she doesn't like socks if they're bumpy, shoes have to fit exactly right. Basically, she wants everything to fit in the way that, like, you feel it the least, you know? And so I respect that, you know? I'm kind of the same way. Now, the thing is, she's 6 years old. And I think, like, nudity up until 3, who cares? You know, no one. You could come over, you see a 3-year-old naked, you don't care. Then, when she got to be 4, which coincided with her starting school, we started having rules that if people were over, you had to have underwear on. And we also had a rule that if there were workmen doing work in the house, you had to have clothes on. You know, I basically, you know, there are strangers in the house or strangers working on the outside of the house. We need to have clothes on. And I don't know that I ever really just elaborated, I just said that was our rule, you know. And today I did elaborate on that. And I said, the way I explained it was, there were some workmen, and I said, you know, we need to have clothes on when there are workmen working outside of the house because we don't know them, and our bodies, and we keep our bodies private for, you know, in our house. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's really awkward because here's where I'm at. At 4, we started the underwear rule, you know, whatever. But once she started here, it's even more. Like, as soon as she comes home from school, she just strips to nude. And I'm home, you know, Mr. F's at work. And what do I care? I mean, how much of it? I mean, I was kind of, you know, we were spending several months, like, constantly, like, Rubes, where are your clothes? You know, like, put your underwear on, do. And she's, you know, constantly making an issue of it and constantly fighting her natural inclination to be nude, that I started feeling like the energy was starting to get, like, negative, you know, and being someone who isn't nude and never wanted to be, I was someone who liked to change my clothes all the time. I think I was like a never nude, you know, one of the best Arrested Development, you know, plot lines of all time. And so I'm particularly sensitive to the fact that at some point in the near future she's going to have body awareness and she's probably not going to want to be nude. So why do I need to enforce that on somebody sooner than they need it? The other side of this is that Mr. F has his own issues and things from the way that he was raised, and I don't think in a positive way for him. Like, he tends to feel more self-conscious than even necessary or things like that, and I was finding that, like, he was getting kind of like more harsh than necessary with, like, insisting that she have clothes on at certain times. And things were becoming inconsistent, and I think that's like the kiss of death for a kid, you know, like, and issues, you know, and so, you know, you just need to have a consistent platform. And I decided about a month ago that I wasn't going to fight the nude anymore, because I think that it's even more complicated at this particular age because she's just starting to have more awareness. So, like, it's really important to me that, like, I protect her as much as possible. And if she feels comfortable being nude and it's not hurting anyone and no one can see it, why do we care? You know, like, why do we care? I mean, believe me, she will eventually get it and put clothes on. You know, we all eventually realize that, you know, soon enough she'll feel bad about herself. I guarantee it. So, like, do I need to make it an issue now? And the way that things were starting to be with the nagging, with the getting dressed, it started to sound like if you removed yourself to hear what was being said, it started to sound like your body needed to be covered because your body was bad. I mean, Mr. F would even say things like, Rubes, you know, that's disgusting. Can you put some underwear on? Or things like that. And I'm like, dude, disgusting? Like, do we really need to start making someone feel like their body parts are disgusting? You know, like, because plenty of people feel that way, you know, and who wants to live their life that way? You know, this is definitely the time of development that we need to kind of remove as many labels as possible. So when that started going down, this was just like last week, I called Mr. F into the room and I'm like, you gotta stop. You know, like, I'm pretty sure that maybe this is something that you need to remove yourself from. And you need to trust me that I'm gonna do what's best. You know, if you have something to say, you need to say it to me, and then I will convey it, because he has to, I mean, and we even talked about whatever his childhood issues were, and, you know, knowing the way that that affected him his whole life, and so that maybe he couldn't remove himself enough from that ingrained, response. And so here's our new thing. I went through this phase, like, right before that happened, where, like, kid was on break a lot, so she didn't have to go to school. And, you know, she would be like, she'll come out, and she'll be like nude, and she'll be like, it's a nude day, you know, and instead of responding like, or, you know, like, all right, I decided, look at her, you know, like, she's so comfortable just being human, you know, like, so I decided to be like, yeah, nude day. And I have to say, removing it as an issue and actually, like, celebrating the fact that she loves herself and, like, is comfortable, and no one sees it, no one's hurt, you know, it completely changed the whole atmosphere of my day, because we were spending so much time nagging her to put clothes on. And just to instead just simply be like, she would come home, eat from school, you know, and be like, you know, I'm going to be coming out nude, and I'd be like, I hope you do. Now, of course, she's a very smart kid, so she knows that I'm kidding, but at the same time, instead of, I just decided to change the energy and see if, number one, if she was being drawn to being nude because it was annoying to us, or if she just naturally loves being nude. No, she just naturally loves being nude. So then I had this talk with Mr. F where I'm like, dude, you gotta stop. Number one, we're way too conflicted of messages. I've gotten into the rallying behind the nude, and you're telling her being nude is disgusting. Like, it's not gonna work. So he decided, like, he's not sure what I'm doing, but here's what I've done. I'm done rallying behind the nude. I found that it changed the atmosphere of the energy around the house, which needed to happen. It also changed my opinion and made me really look at it from, like, you know what? Why does this have to be a negative thing at all? And I've decided 6 is okay. She is a little girl. She has a little girl's body. No one is spying on us. You know, we live on a small little street. We know our neighbors. At night with the lights on, with the windows open, can you see in? Yes, but I don't see anybody out there looking, and I can see out, you know, like, we do shut the blinds, whatever, at night, whatever, if that's what's going down. I have these rules. If the same rules apply. If people are coming over, you need to be fully dressed. If there are people working outside or, you know, milling about, we need to be fully dressed, because our bodies, you know, are, I mean, it's just even hard to describe. I just decided, I'm like, our bodies are private for our family. You know, just like that. And she didn't ask any questions, and I didn't answer any, you know. And that's kind of where I'm sticking at it for now. Our other rule is you can be nude when you come home. Well, I don't care. But at dinner, we come to the table covered up. Whether that means you're wearing a nightgown or a dress or whatever, I don't care. And that's pretty much it for my rules, you know. Like, the rest of it, I think, you know, enjoy being human. You're going to hate it soon enough, you know. And that's my take. Check, check.